Let's start the recording. Let's welcome back the YouTube audience for what will be CLG FC episode 134.1. It's the start of the off season. Uh, I didn't say it was a walkover. I hate how the press fucking twists our words, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand how the press twists our words. I didn't say it was a walkover. I didn't say this season is a walkover. But we were far and away the best team. Uh, either way, uh, take nothing away from my players. They were fantastic. So, all right. God, I don't. Anyway. Having checked off, sure. That should be that is such a powder puff fucking question. You know what I mean? Like that is such a powder puff question. Frack accepts his fine. It's 1 day's wage, mate. You're fine. So, whoa, that's the encoding for you. It is still telling me that my output is way too high. So I've just loaded 100 again. Yeah. We'll see if it tells me it's unstable still, but it's fantastic to be just out of this division. I mean, it was a mess. I mean, it went down to the final day of the season, and I don't. I mean, Fleetwood Hesketh. I didn't even see if they won the last game of the season. But even then, like you're talking about a team in a division where 54 points is the absolute maximum. You're talking about a team coming away with 46 points out of those 58 and not going up and not getting and not even winning the league, not getting promoted. Like that is unheard of. So, I mean, you got to think if it was the equivalent, say, of the Prem, right? You're talking about a team finishing on 93 points, and it's not enough to win the title. Like, we scored 56 goals, breaking the league record. The previous record was the Tarleton Corinthians, who scored 55. Record high for the club, 47 points. Yeah. Did they even win? I didn't even know if they won. Did they win? They did not win. They lost to East Manchester. So it didn't matter. The win didn't matter. But we finished 4 points clear. But I mean, wow. New average attendance for us. Um, we averaged 151 fans. Previous season for the division was 126 by Shevington 4 seasons ago. Sticky broke the goal scoring record. They came into the game level on goals and then scored a hat trick to push it up to 14. And those are all the records. Squad planning for next season. Wellman's got a 2-year contract extension after gaining promotion. Norris gets a 2-year contract extension. So, There we go. We were first in every category as well. Players going off season. And we begin our off season. It's our 7th off season here in the CLG FC save. It again starts in April. The under 18s are still playing. Just as a reminder, they have, I think, 3 games left. So they will be wrapped up in about 3 weeks' time. The English domestic season has about a month left. The Prem League and all those leagues. Well, the Premier League has a month left. Some of the domestic seasons in England are winding down this week because they have playoffs to determine a final promotion team, and those playoffs will begin next week. So there is that. So I mean, we looked at Panorama National. They had a game left. I think Skybet League One had a game or two left. I mean, Skybet League 2. Skybet League 2 had a game or two left. Skybet League 1, I think, had 3 games left. And the Championship, I think, had 3 games left. Um, so they're going to be winding down because they need to allocate 2 weeks for playoffs. They need to allocate the first week for the semifinals and the second week for the final. The Panorama National playoffs are more like a gauntlet. 6 teams make the playoffs there, right? So you have the quarterfinals, and then you have to have a week for the semifinals, and then you have to have the final. And all of them are, with the exception of the final, home and away legs. So they have to play in the midweek, the first leg, and then the weekend is the second leg. So you need time between those games. So Panorama National will need 2 weeks just to get to the final, and then they play the final at Wembley. So, they're going to need. You have to think that the English domestic season for playoffs for the leagues below the Premier League need 2 to 3 weeks to conclude their playoffs. So this week will be the last week of the domestic season for those leagues, and then they'll move into the playoffs. So I think that's the difference. Prem will go to just about mid-April. I mean mid-May, and then they'll do the FA Cup at the end of May, and then the UEFA Champions League right at the beginning of June. Rushford Park's attendance was why am I? Oh, they smashed our attendance record by 1 fan. Wow. Here's our season review. We finished on 47 points. The new arrivals was Taylor Wright. Here was the games. We lost to Fleetwood Hesketh early, and then we racked off 6 in a row, and we were in the title fight. And then we drew Old Mancunians, racked off 2 in a row, and then drew again, including the win over Fleetwood Hesketh, by the way. But they only finished with 3 losses, 14. I mean, that's just insane that season. So, Board gave me a B minus for winning the league. Goal of the season was Sheamus on the 82nd. This was fucking outrageous, by the way. This goal was fucking outrageous. Let's see this goal from Sheamus. This goal of the season. That is just rifled into the opposite bottom corner. That's amazing. Finances. Annual revenue was basically all down. We only sold 107 pounds of merch. And, yeah. That's how we lined up. Spaps was the worst performing player at a 6.97. Our best performing player was Sheamus. It was the highest performing player all season. 18 goal involvements in 18 games. The accolades, there they are. 12 clean sheets out of 18 by Brott. So, and that is the season in review. So, uh, Sean Warner is currently playing for Newport, Isle of Wight. Man, I hope he's doing well there. We sold him. He's made 10 appearances. He's got 2 assists and a 7.06 rating, and he's played in the FA Vaz. Tyler Harrison is a free agent. Alseni Sila is retired. Okay. Remy Hemingway is retired. And Kerry Evans is also retired. Okay. Social media followers went up 70 to 382. Club visions and expectations meeting. Negotiate. I please let me go. We've added this because you want me to play direct football. How do you want me to play both counterattacking and direct football and entertaining football? I mean, just fuck off, George. Seriously. New season team report. The longest spell, the most missed was Twinkle, who missed 20% of the season. And then the next of the starting 11 was Snicky, who missed 12. Then it was Cookies, who missed 10. 24th of June, the players report back. We'll apply advice, even though it's not going to matter. You guys are going to wait 1 month. You can end his individual training. I mean, McCarthy and Sween definitely, but we're going to move on. Okay, Callum Thompson's looking like he could take his game to level 13 levels. That's good. We're going up to level 13 next season, so that's good. Kirsten Ashton under 18s versus Counterlogic FC under 18s are coming up on the 27th, but we have got 2 months before the team reports back. We also have the FIFA World Cup we're going to be watching. It is the 2030 FIFA World Cup. So that'll be coming up in the off season. I don't think we'll get to that today, but we'll see. Leagues in focus. We'll do that. Let's actually go over leagues in focus. The annual cost of running the youth setup is £11,180, but we have successfully applied to raise their youth category to develop to category 4, which is good. That's good. If I come to the club and I come to the facilities, the youth level is 4. So now the question is, can we improve the pitch condition is perfect. So where does the stadium condition at? Very good. Okay. So I think we upgrade the training facilities. I would like to upgrade the youth facilities first. So I think that might be the next push is say, hey, can we upgrade the youth facilities, please? So, but we'll see. There's the we've been kind of losing money over time, but is what it is. We're doing okay. Transfer budget is 545,000. So if I come to finances, I don't need that much for a transfer budget. I would much rather give it in the wage budget. Scouting budget's 46,000. So if I come to scouting, which I apparently can't remember where the hell that is. Here it is, scouting. I go to scouting budget. I can put way more into the scouting budget. All right, what else we got? Nothing doing. Let's move on. Oh, I meant to do leagues in focus. We'll do that as soon as this is done processing. We'll get you your leagues in focus. So, oh shit. Sorry. How much do we have left on the diving? We've got 40 minutes left on the diving video. And then it's men's and women's team, really not team, but men's and women's doubles, round of 16 in the table tennis. That's 3 hours. It's followed by the gold final of the badminton. The women's singles gold final in badminton. So, we're not going to get to all that tonight. This diving video will be it. But Jamie Graham's turned professional. Does he have a professional contract? That's the big question. What's his contract? It is a full-time contract. We do have an optional extension as well. Leagues in focus. MLS. Chicago Fire top. Orlando City is second. Miami's third. Toronto's fourth. DC's fifth. Nashville's sixth. New York City FC is seventh. Montreal's eighth. My beloved Union are ninth. Atlanta and Charlotte outside, looking in by a point. Cincinnati is the worst team in the league. In the West, Real Salt Lake is top. It's actually Chicago's the best team in the league now. But in the West, Real Salt Lake is top. LA Galaxy are second. Colorado third. Houston fourth. San Jose fifth. Austin sixth. The Scum are seventh. Seattle is eighth. Dallas is ninth. St. Louis City and Vancouver are both on the outside looking in on goal difference. Minnesota and Sporting Kansas City are on the outside looking in by a point. Premier League, City are top. We already know that they are champions. That has been known. They are 16 clear. They are 4 to play. Newcastle are second. They're looking good for a Champions League spot. Villa are third. Forest fourth. Man United's fifth. Spurs are sixth. Arsenal seventh. Liverpool are eighth. They are at least guaranteed Conference League for their win in the EFL Cup. The EFL Cup. Chelsea are 10th. My beloved West Ham are only a point above the drop. Are only 3 points above the drop, over Crystal Palace. Wolves are 4 points adrift in 19th after being deducted 9 points for going into administration. Sheffield Wednesday, we know, are already down. They are now 17 adrift with 12 points left on the table, so they're down. Skybet Championship, Sunderland are the champions. They are coming up to the Premier League again. Sheffield United will be coming with them. They are promoted. They are 7 points above the playoff places with 2 games to play. They are promoted. Norwich City and Watford have secured at least playoff places. Ipswich and Coventry City fill out the last 2 playoff places. Middlesbrough are on the outside looking in by 4 points. The only other team in the hunt is Fulham, who are 5 points on the outside looking in. So, at the bottom, Blackburn Rovers are a point above the drop over Barnsley. Cardiff City are 4 points adrift with 2 to play. Bolton are down. The Bolton Wanderers, they are down 8 adrift with only 2 to play. There's only 6 points left on offer here in the Skybet Championship, and Bolton are 8 from safety. Skybet League 1, Derby are up. They are promoted. They are not the champions yet, but they are promoted. They have 2 games left. They should be the champions, no? No, because Stoke has got 2 games left. So they need a point. Derby need a point to be the champions from their last 2 games. But they are 4 clear of the league. Rochdale have secured at least the playoff place. They are above the playoff places by goals scored because they're level on goal difference with Reading. Reading and Stoke City, they secured playoff places. They are at least going to play for a chance to go up. Stockport County, Lincoln City are the last 2 playoff place teams. Preston are on the outside looking in by 5 goals in the goal difference. Chesterfield are 2 points back on the outside looking in. The only other clubs in play, as there's 2 games left in this season, are, well, these two, there's only 1 game left, so they can't catch. But the only other team that possibly could do it is 11th place Peterborough United, but a point from Lincoln City and Stockport, or really just a point from Lincoln City, will be enough to see that. Or Preston, a point from Lincoln City or Preston will be enough to see that dream vanish. At the bottom, Burton Albion are above the drop only by 2 points. Wigan Athletic and Crawley Town are above the drop only on goal difference over both Salford City and Cambridge United. That is crazy. It's 50, 48, 48, 48, 48, 47 with Stevenage only a point adrift from safety in 23rd. That's extremely tight. 3 of those 5 teams are going down. Or beg your pardon, including Burton Albion in 18th, 3 of those 6 teams are going down. Shrewsbury Town already down 21 points adrift from safety with 2 games to play. Skybet League 2, Carlisle United are the champions. They are going up. Wickham Wanderers, they are promoted in 2nd place. They are going up. Doncaster Rovers, they lead the playoff places by 3 points over Colchester United, Forest Green Rovers, Milton Keynes, and Mansfield Town. Bradford City and Notts County are on the outside of the playoffs looking in by just goal difference. Bristol Rovers are on the outside by 3 points. The only other teams in play with a chance at the playoffs are Woking in 11th, who are 4 back, and Newport County in 12th, who are 5 back. At the bottom, it's a done deal. AFC Fylde, 7 clear of the drop with only 6 points left available. It means Fleetwood Town are down and Port Vale are down. Vanarama National time. Let's look at how it finished, shall we? Let's look at the league table. Southend United are coming up. They have won the league by a single point. They will be promoted from non-league football to the Football League next season. South Shields in the playoff place. Yeovil, Macclesfield, Solihull Moors, Oldham Athletic, and Bromley. So Yeovil City will play. Who gets the bye? Is it just South Shields that gets the bye? No, South Shields and Yeovil both get by. So Macclesfield will play Bromley. Solihull Moors will play Oldham Athletic. The winners will play South Shields and Yeovil. So those are the quarterfinals. At the bottom, Kidderminster Harriers stayed up. We knew this from last time. FC Halifax Town are down. Guiseley are down. Maidenhead United are down. Morecambe are down. Lastly, the division above us, the craziness that it was. How did it finish? Ulverston Rovers won the last game of the season. They are going up as champions. Furness Cavaliers were already promoted. They were playing for the title. At the bottom, Branstey Rangers survived by 2 points. They lost in the last game of the season. Brathwaite did as well. They are going down. Gosforth is going down. Whitehaven Miners Social will be going down. That's Leagues in Focus. We'll hit you again with it a little bit closer to the end of the domestic season. We don't have long left here tonight in this stream. We've only got about 25 minutes left. But that is actually fucking crazy, man. So ahead of the last game of the season. Scouting update, I don't really care. That was nuts, though, the fact that, like, Unison Athletic in 7th could have wound up going down on the last day of the season if everything went against them and they didn't win and they lost big, for example. That would have been crazy. That would have been really good, like Boomhauer or whatever his name is from King of the Hill. But That would have been it. Just I mean, if you were on that team, I would have been like, you know what? I'm taking a year off from football, bro. I'm taking a year off from like I can't do that. Like that's just pure lunacy. So, uh, when did I post that in Z's Discord, by the way? Jesus, I don't know. That is a nuts way to end it. That is I mean the team in relegation spot lost, so it's like none of the teams that were even like a point above relegation were threatened because the team in relegation lost the last game of the season. So it didn't matter. It was all irrelevant. But it's just one of those things where you're just like, bro, if you're eighth and you're 2 points and you lose and the other team wins and like you're down by a point, like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you justify dropping 5 places on the last day of the season? Like that's unheard of. And it's not like it was a division we were in where there's only 10 teams. There was 15 teams in that division. They played their season was 28 games. Ours was 18. Ours was 10 games less. Like, well, we made it up. All right. We got Cursion Ashton under 18s versus Counter Logic FC under 18s. I think we're 3 points back from FC Halifax Town under 18s in this league. So, but nice. Wow, that's amazing piece of art. Wow. Somebody just posted art on the timeline. I'm like, oh man, it's very good. But anyway, we are ticking down to the off season, y'all. I need to look up the FIFA World Cup. I don't even know if all the clubs are qualified for it yet, because there might be the intercontinental intercontinental playoffs. Actually, I don't think the pot for the World Cup draws out yet. Is it? It might be. It might be. God, they always get so close to the platform when they dive, and I'm like, bro, I would like be so afraid I would whack my head against the platform accidentally, like on the dive. I'd be so afraid, especially not so much on a tuck, but on a pike, definitely. Houston beat the Union and West Ham. They fell into the no way. Who is the fucking manager, man? 7% is your win rate? Bro. Counterlogic FC's win as Ibrin impresses Jordan Patrick in the 13th, O'Day Ibaran in the Irabaran in the 79th, and in the 83rd. We win 3-0. FC Halifax Town lost. We go top of the league with 2 games left in the under 18s. Look at that. Things you love to see. You just love it. uh, anyway, what are we at? April 28th? That's news, so we'll probably tick out over to the 29th very shortly. We're waiting to finish out the under 18s league. Um, and then we'll move on from there. Oh, that is not a very good dive. Oh, I'm also getting tired. It's 11 o'clock here in the east, so good. Oh, that's a nice boost. 480,000 in membership fees from the fans of the club. We've received. That's nice. How wonderful. Um, new sponsorship deal is 2.3K. The previous one was worth £40 more. Changes to stadium season ticket prices. So the average ticket price is now going from £1 to £2 on the match day. That's the match day ticket. The average season ticket price is going from £7 to £12. I think that's because the leagues are going to have more games. So I mean, you're talking about 9 home games for £7 in the previous season. That's not bad. You've been allocated the scouting budget of uh well, I'm gonna fucking change that. We're gonna buy the UK and Ireland one. Monthly scouting, but yeah, that's fine. We'll go for it. Remaining scouting budget 158K. Uh, so now we're up to 1.62 million. Right. So we're gonna be financially okay for the next season. All right. April 29th, moving into the 30th. I meant to look at the damn FIFA World Cup again. I totally forgot. I totally forgot. Uh, it's moving a little slower than Ireland because for some reason I'm using more resources, even though I did do a reboot of the PC prior to launching everything, just to dump the RAM out and everything. But also, the database just keeps growing, man, and I don't really have a way of cutting it anymore that I want to explore. Like, I want the K League in there. I want the Hong Kong Premier League in there, and I want the MLS in there. Now, the MLS cannot be view only because the game bugs when you view only the MLS because of the waiver system that MLS has and sending players up and down between the minors and the bigs, um, or your MLS Next Pro and your MLS Senior Squad. So, um, as well as dropping to free agency, wavering to free agency. So it just bugs, and it bugs the player evaluations too high. So sorry, folks. So if the league is going to be in the game, it needs to be playable. And as somebody who's a huge fan of the Philadelphia Union, I want the league in the game. So the league's going to stay in the game. Our manager is Korean, so I would like the K League 1 and 2 to be view only in the league. Ideally playable, but we kind of know what we're doing here with bottom to top, so it doesn't need to be playable. Hong Kong Premier League, because if I can't manage South Korea, the next thing I usually go for is Hong Kong. It's a small league, so remind me in a month because nobody's training, motherfucker. All right. Follow-up actions. Future prospects, fine. You want 130 a week. Can you give me an optional 1-year contract extension? Oh yeah, easy money, bro. Okay, so if I come here to add remove leagues, the player base is 382. How did it blow up 100,000 players? Is there a way? Can I say? I can't say view only below. And these are view only. I'm gonna remove the Hong Kong Premier League. Hold on. The difference is literally 8,000 players. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. But we'll get rid of it just for the sake of getting rid of it. Is what it is. So. Sorry. All right. We got 11 minutes left on stream. No wonder it's taking a while. 390. Where did all these? Oh, because the youth intake. It's basically youth intake for 24 divisions, 24 tiers. So I think the database should probably shrink again as those youth candidates do not get signed and players retire at the end of the season. So hopefully, copium. But yeah. It's pretty good. Just an update to leagues and focus. Nothing. West Ham still in the drop. Fucking White Palace have to win. Who'd they beat? They beat Everton. Of course, Everton would be our tomorrow. West Ham's not helping themselves though. Unfortunately, Macclesfield did beat Bromley. Solihull Moors beat Oldham. Semi-final, Yeovil City down to Macclesfield. South Shields beat Solihull Moor. The playoff final will be Yeovil City and South Shields. Doncaster got up on the last day of the season. Forest Green Rovers playoffs. So there you have it there. At the bottom, we know Fleetwood and Port Vale were down. So Notts County snuck in. Colchester were third in an automatic promotion spot, and they drew and then lost the last 3 games of the season.
I intend to live by my own code now.
And that's enough to not even not even drop them out of the automatic promotion spot, but it's enough to kick them out of the playoffs. So those 4 results at the end of the season is enough to keep Colchester in League Two for another year. Derby did win the league, even though they didn't win any of their last 4 games. Stoke City came up. How about that? Rochdale got bumped on the last day of the season. They drew. Who they draw against? Lincoln City, and Stoke City beat Crawley Town. So Stoke are going up automatically. Wigan went down on the last day of the season. Crawley went down. Cambridge and Salford City. Mr. Cellophane. Welcome in, Mr. Cellophane. Thank you for the raid. So, first things first. Hello, everyone. I am Benakage. It's great to have you all here. This is a bottom-to-top save. We just finished our season, actually. We finished. Fleetwood Hesketh actually lost on the last day of the season, and we won. So we're going up next year to level 13. We're looking at the leagues, the top 5 leagues in England right now. But yeah, it's great to have you along. This is a bottom-to-top save featuring CounterLogic FC, which is a homage to the old CounterLogic Gaming esports organization. And every player on our starting 11 had some former connection with that esports organization. So it's a community save, a community bottom-to-top run. So, oh good, Union beat Dallas. And we just kicked into the off season, so we're looking at the leagues. Oh my God, Bizarre is coming as well. Jesus Christ! Hello, everyone.
To live by my own code now.
First off, it's great to see Cellophane reigning again. By the way, so let's give a big shout out first to Mr. Cellophane. That's probably going to be delayed because Twitch. There we go. I don't know why it didn't. There we go. It's filled in. It's so late. So, check him out. He is an FM streamer as well. He was playing his Build a Nation in Croatia save with Hajduk Split tonight. Hello. Was going to raid off Bizarre for old time's sake, but saw he was getting off. I've got 7 minutes left of stream too, mate. I'm getting off too. It's okay. I appreciate stuff. It's great to see you streaming again, by the way, mate. I hope everything's well. I will message you tomorrow probably if you want to just catch up, really. So big thanks to Cellophane for the raid. And then we've got another one, which is Bizarra. Brigade. Low holiday week, everybody bailing early. Well, I mean, I have work tomorrow, so I'm not usually on this long. You know what I mean? It's 1Z2Rs. I never remember that. But check out Bizarre. He did his little America save tonight with, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a Hungarian team. So I just always call it Giat FC, but I know it's like Giatamot or something like that. But if you want to see Giat FC and how Giaters play football, check out Bizarre Brigade. But yes, I am. I do too. So I'm with it. Yeah. So I'm Benakage. This is a bottom-to-top save featuring CounterLogic FC, the homage to the old CounterLogic Gaming esports organization. With the starting 11 being community members that all had a former connection to CounterLogic Gaming. That's the homage of the save. We have just finished Season 7. We went up on the last day of the season. Fleetwood Hesketh lost. We won. We went up by 4 points. We are just checking out England, and then we're getting out of here, basically. So that is the promotion final. Down in Vanarama National, South End United won the league. Skybet League 2, we talked about. Fleetwood and Port Vale are down. Forest Green, Milton Keynes, Mansfield Towers, Notts County are playing for the playoffs. Colchester were third and failed to win any of the last 4 games, and they will be stuck in League 2. Derby are coming up. Stoke are coming up. Preston North End just couldn't get it over the line in the end. They're outside by a point. And Salford City and Cambridge United were in 21st and 22nd going into the last day of the season, and they pulled themselves out with wins. Cambridge beat Lincoln City, who was a playoff team. And Salford City, who'd they beat? They beat the league leaders. They beat the champions. Wigan and Crawley failed to win. They're going down. Stevenage are going down. Shrewsbury are going down. Sky Bet Championship, Sunderland are coming up. Sheffield United are coming up. There is one game to play, and we don't know which of the last two playoff teams it will be. Ipswich Town, Coventry City, Fulham, and Middlesbrough are all in the mix. Although Middlesbrough, with that goal difference, a little less. But at the bottom, Blackburn, who were bottom of the league with 4 games to play, have pulled themselves out with 2 straight wins. Who'd they beat? They beat Coventry City and QPR. Coventry, I think, are a playoff team, right? Yeah, that's a bad loss for Coventry. QPR mid-table. So they're safe. Barnsley are down. Cardiff City are down. Bolton are down. And unfortunately, my beloved West Ham look like that might be the same because they fired their manager and apparently have hired one even worse. They haven't won since the 2nd of March. And that's they only have 3 wins in the calendar year. And one is the FA Cup 3rd round versus Grimsby, and the other is the FA Cup 4th round versus Colchester. So they have 1 win in the league since Christmas. That is horrid form. But we're just going to get through another day or two. I did want to check the FIFA World Cup before we left, just to see if the draw has been made for the FIFA World Cup, because this is our season 7 off season, and we always watch a tournament in the off season, and this year would be the 2030 FIFA World Cup. So we're going to check that now. Monthly finances look fine, but let's go to the World Cup real quick. The draw actually has been made. So here is the draw for the FIFA World Cup we're going to be watching probably starting in the next stream. Maybe not. Maybe the one next week because it's not until June 13th that the group stage starts. But we're going to at least click attend on some of these matches. So Benin, the hosts are Turkey. So Benin, Japan, Paraguay, and Turkey. Is Group A. Iraq, Morocco, the USA, and Ukraine is in Group B. Group C, Brazil, Finland, Jamaica made it to the World Cup. South Korea. Group D is Canada, Germany, Côte d'Ivoire, and Saudi Arabia. Group E is Australia, Burkina Faso now, Denmark, and France. Group F, New Zealand, Nigeria, Scotland, Serbia. That's actually an interesting group right there, honestly. Group G is Cameroon, Chile, China, and England. Group H, Cape Verde. Jamiro Montero's men have made it to the World Cup. Ecuador, Iran, and Netherlands. Belgium, Haiti, Mali, and Portugal is Group I. That's actually also an interesting group because Mali could be a little bit of an unknown in that group. Group J is Egypt, Spain, Switzerland, and Uruguay. Fucking that's got to be the group of death. Group K is Algeria, Argentina, Austria, and Trinidad and Tobago. That's an interesting one as well. Algeria is not going to be a pushover. Neither will Austria. You got to think that's Argentina's group, though. And then Group L is Mexico, Slovakia, the United Arab Emirates, and Venezuela. So matches. We get to pick one a day. Obviously, it's going to have to be South Korea because of our manager. The second day, we'll do Scotland, Nigeria could be Australia, France could be interesting too, actually. And then there's Burkina Faso and Denmark. So I think because it's the first game of the group stage, we attend the new boys in Burkina Faso. Iran and Cape Verde would be interesting. Chile versus England would be okay. But I think Iran versus Cape Verde. Game 4 we'll do. It's got to be Switzerland, Uruguay, right? And then actually we could do Algeria. No, Austria, Argentina we'll do. And then Morocco and the USA. Denmark and Australia is probably the pick of the litter. unless Nigeria and Serbia. New Zealand, Scotland could be interesting too. Um, we'll do. No, I don't want to. We'll do China versus Chile. We'll watch. Ooh, Egypt versus. Let's do Slovakia versus the United Arab Emirates. Actually, let's do Venezuela and Mexico. U.S. or actually we'll do South Korea on that one. And then France versus Denmark, bruh, bruh. England China will be good. Let's see. Then we'll do Austria Trinidad Tobago sounds okay. UAE Venezuela sounds okay. Egypt Uruguay actually. We'll do. Let's do Austria Trinidad and Tobago, and that's the group stage games picked. So we're gonna have a save. And then I now have the task of finding somebody to raid for you guys. uh, everyone's like, holiday week, man. I still got to freaking work tomorrow. What the fuck? And I got to work Friday, which is the worst thing, too. Pikachu is tagged his as IRL, but he's actually playing 7 Days to Die. And I don't see anyone else literally on my following list who is even remotely close to life. BMOC is playing EA Sports FC 25, but that game is absolute dog. So I'm not going to raid you to a FIFA player, or to not a FIFA player, but a FIFA stream. So we're going to say hi to Pikachu. He's a big fan of a mutual streamer that we follow. Anyway, but for those watching on YouTube, this is the end of the recording, episode 134.1. We'll be back with the World Cup, hopefully, in the next episode. Until then, take care.